All right, welcome back. This is part 3 of our video series on the introduction, and we're going to go over how do we know it's alive as well as homeostasis in this one. So, properties of life. And the properties of life, these are a set of processes that are going to distinguish life from non-living things and living things. And these living things include, 1, all living things are made up of cells. And the cell is the smallest functional unit that is alive, and they're composed of 1 or more cells. Viruses, for example, viruses are not alive. They're not a cell. They don't carry on reproductive systems. They don't have a metabolism, which is required to be alive. They require other cells actually in order to reproduce. So, cell is a basic functional unit that's alive. Living organisms are going to move. This movement includes motion of the whole body, such as moving of your skeletal muscles and bones and all. Individual organs, single cells, organelles inside of cells. You might be looking at a tree and go, well, how do I know that's alive if the tree isn't moving? I mean, the wind could move the branches and the leaves, but the tree itself isn't moving. Well, if you go to the cellular level, you will actually, if you see inside those cells, you're going to see movement of organelles inside that cell, which constitutes being alive. Now, living organisms are able to respond to their environment, which means they have the ability to detect and respond to changes in the internal and external environment. For example, we do this by responding to stimuli such as light and pressure and heat and noises. I want to give you an example video of people who are moving around, responding to their environment. So take a look at this.
I get no kick from champagne. Pure alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of you? In a plane, flying too high with some gal in the sky is my idea of nothing to do. Yet I get a kick. You give me a boot. I get a kick out of you.
Okay, so those are organisms responding to their environment. Number 4, all living organisms are going to have metabolism. Organisms use energy and nutrients to perform all life's functions, and metabolism is the total of all the chemical reactions that occur in the body. There are 2 basic phases of metabolism. You have catabolism and anabolism. Anabolism is the synthesis, or the building up. So for example, you've probably heard of anabolic steroids. These are steroids or hormones that will build up the body, particularly muscle tissue. So anabolism builds up. Catabolism is the breakdown of that tissue, or whatever the substance is. So for example, if you take in food, you use catabolic reactions to take the big food molecules and break them into smaller ones so your body can absorb those. We talk about cellular respiration, and we're going to be talking about catabolism and making energy and how we get that energy from the food substances that you eat. We're going to look at the mitochondria and the ability of the mitochondria to use oxygen that you breathe in and the nutrients that you're taking in via your digestive system, and changing that or turning that into ATP, making ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which is basically the energy currency of your cell. This is your cellular reactions that require energy. It's going to get it from ATP. It has adenosine right here, and then it has 3 phosphate groups. That's the triphosphate. Adenosine here, triphosphate 1, 2, 3, and we're going to see that the energy found in the bond here, these bonds, are high energy bonds, particularly the last one. And when these are broken, they give off energy, and the cell can use that energy for its cellular functions. When we go over aerobic respiration, you use oxygen to produce this ATP. We'll go through a lot of this during the process of cellular respiration and glycolysis. Organisms can grow. They have growth. It results in an increase in either overall body size due to an increased number of cells or the size of those pre-existing cells, meaning they get bigger. They develop, they differentiate. Changes in an organism undergoes through time is differentiation. It begins with fertilization and ends at death. So, for example, you started out as a fertilized egg. Here's a sperm fertilizing this egg right here. You developed, you went through lots of differentiation where you single cell through the fetal development, embryonic and fetal development. Here you are as a fetus, newborn. Of course, all children are playing with snakes and all and having fun. But you're changing. Your body is changing over time as you develop. Number 7, living organisms are able to reproduce. They form new cells for growth, repair, replacement, and the production of a new individual. We have 2 basic processes. We have mitosis and meiosis. Mitosis is the formation of new cells from pre-existing cells. You use this for growth, repair, and replacement. So what you're going to have is you're going to have one cell that divides and has 46 chromosomes in it. It's going to undergo mitosis, and it's going to produce 2 cells over here, both with 46 chromosomes. So these 2 cells are exactly like the cell that it came from. In meiosis, this is the production of sex cells, sperm and eggs. And what you're going to start out with, we're going to see, is a germ cell that have 46 chromosomes. And then by the process of meiosis, you go from that one cell that has 46 chromosomes to actually 4 different cells that have 23 chromosomes each, or 1/2 the number of chromosomes. That way a sperm that has 23 chromosomes, when it unites with an egg that also has 23 chromosomes, when they come together, you're going to get a single cell, a zygote, that has 46 chromosomes. And then that zygote will divide by mitosis over and over and over again and replicate itself, giving those cells that it's replicating by mitosis each having 46 chromosomes. So meiosis is a way to reduce the number of chromosomes in each cell so that when you undergo reproduction, you wind up with the same amount of chromosomes you should have. If you didn't have meiosis, can you imagine? You would have a cell with 46 chromosomes, another cell with 46 chromosomes, egg and sperm, and they come together and you have 92 chromosomes. Wouldn't work. So you have to go through meiosis to reduce the number of chromosomes by 1/2 in the sperm and egg.